and welcome to the Teaching Corner. Today we're going to talk about a book called Neuro Teach, and I'm going to share my screen really quickly with you so that we can talk about this. And Neuro Teach, The Brain Science and the Future of Education is by Glenn Whitman and Ian Keller. And I just wanted to share some insights that I gained from this book that I thought were really, really important. So the first thing is to talk about teachers as brain changers. And one of the reasons that we all become teachers is that we believe in the possibility of changing things. We believe in the possibility of changing the lives of our students or possibly our fellow educators or our school community. But we also know that teaching is both a science and an art. And research has shown us that a teacher's belief in their capacity to impact learning is strongly correlated to increased knowledge of how the brain works. And the more teachers learn about how the brain learns, how it works, how it changes, the more they differentiate their instruction and the more their practices end up helping all of our students. So you may wonder, how are teachers brain changers? And so if you would touch the front of your forehead right here, this is your prefrontal cortex. And this is not fully developed until we're in our mid-20s, but this is where executive functioning takes place. And if you were to ask, well, what is exactly executive functioning? In everyday life, executive functioning is our ability to plan things. It's our ability to organize things. You know, I've got this party coming up. I've got to do this first, then this, then this. It's our ability to execute those plans. It's wonderful if we have plans and we have it all written down, but if we don't execute them, so it's our ability to initiate things. It's our ability to stop doing things. It's also our ability to inhibit in the middle and not say something unkind to someone. And all of this is affected by our environment and our experiences. And it is also affected with how our students process those experiences. So if they're having a hard time with something, or maybe if we have a student on the spectrum who has a struggle processing those experiences, that's going to affect their executive functioning. So in schools, though, we as teachers have a profound impact on our students' development of problem solving, knowing how to problem solve. And of course, math and science are great for this. And in the writing process where we help kids plan things out, we really have a great impact on their development of prioritizing, knowing what's important. What do I study for first? What do I put more time into? Thinking ahead, their ability to know what's coming up, what do I need to plan for, and how do I space out my time for that? Self-evaluation. As teachers, we all know sometimes we have those students that if we don't give them the grade and we ask them, how did you do on your project? They may have either really high expectations of how they did, or in some cases, like my own son, really low, even though they scored really well. And we can profoundly affect their ability to long-term plan. Like if we have a test on Friday, are we teaching our students to study a little bit on Monday and then a little more on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, just review? And we have a profound impact on their calibration of risk and reward. We really want our students to be risk takers. We want them to try new experiences and do new things. And if we as teachers focus everything on a grade, and if you make a poor grade, even though you took a risk and you tried something new, if everything is tied to that, we'll kill that in our students. So we have a really big impact on that, and we have to be careful how we manage that. And also, their regulation of emotion. And of course, this is also tied sometimes to grades, but self-esteem, how they see one another. Are we creating an environment where they feel safe? So again, going back to teachers being brain changers, we have got to recognize that we have this window of about 20 years as educators to influence the wiring of a student's brain. That's a long time that we have the ability to impact these kids. But oftentimes we think, oh, well, they're supposed to have learned that in elementary school or maybe middle school. They should know how to study for a test now. We actually need to be scaffolding for our students all the way through college because their brains are not fully formed until they're 25. And we've got to remember that. So another thing as brain changers is we've got to know that we can help all of our students to rewire their brains, to increase how their minds can perform. And how we do this is through excellent teaching, not so-so teaching, but excellent teaching, excellent modeling, us being prepared, universal design of learning. So we've got to do a better job with that. But when we say all, we literally mean all ages from the youngest to college age, all abilities. We can help even our kids who have cognitive disabilities, we can help them become better processors. We can help them with some of those executive functioning things. We can help our high-level kids. We can help our low-level kids. We can help our kids with dyslexia or dysgraphia. All literally means all. So another thing that the book talked about, which I thought was really interesting, is that multiple intelligences is a neuromyth. For a long time, they have told us, well, you need to do a multiple intelligence test on your kids, find out, are they an auditory learner, a kinesthetic learner, a visual learner, and then you need to teach that child that way. But in reality, the truth is that although our students may have individual preferences, all of our students benefit when we teach in a variety of different modalities, that it's not always lecture. It's not always a PowerPoint. It's not always just manipulating something. We need to be doing as many different modalities as we can. So really what needs to drive how we teach a particular topic, it needs to be based on content and not on learning styles. So I really hope that was helpful. That's just briefly getting into it. We're going to do a whole lot more, but if you enjoyed that, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.